Loaded show coming your way on the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you, and it's all presented by a brand new sponsor here at Chat Sports, Roane. Really comfortable, stretchable fabric on all of these dress shirts. Fantastic. That'll have you looking good and feeling even better. 20% off your order if you use the promo code CHAT at Roane.com/chat. We'll tell you more about Roane coming up here in just a few moments. Coming your way on the Niners Report. Really eye-popping Jimmy Garoppolo numbers as well as trends that goes to show you how good he's been over the last couple of games and how he ranks among some of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, but also coming your way on the docket, how the Niners can improve, keep stacking wins, and make it 3 straight dubs against the Atlanta Falcons during Week 6 of the 2022 NFL season. Really for San Francisco to continue this ascent up the power rankings in the NFC, and to continue to play really good football, it all starts and ends with Jimmy Garoppolo. If he plays average to above average football, the sky is the limit for this football team, because even though they suffered a lot of injuries against the Carolina Panthers, they are multiple studs deep at basically every single position on the field. They have multiple really good players not playing right now, multiple first-round picks not seeing the field, yet they're still putting together really impressive drives offensively and defensively, and they've won back-to-back games. But with Jimmy Garoppolo, it really all starts and ends with him. You get solid quarterback play, and this team can really cause a lot of havoc in the NFC, and they might be the best team in the NFC given the level of coaching and the roster construction that's taken place. For Jimmy G, what I've really liked the last 2 weeks when I've gone back and I've dived into the film, he's being more aggressive. He's throwing the ball downfield. He's taking more chances as a passer. He's making and completing more tight window throws. And with that does come some risks. He has almost thrown a couple of interceptions. And yeah, that's a little bit worrisome. But I'd rather see aggressive Jimmy G as compared to check down and complacent Jimmy G. The back shoulder balls have really been fantastic. And he's also making some throws outside of the hashes, which is something that we have not seen Jimmy Garoppolo do really throughout his Niners tenure. And he's also making some of those throws on some of the money downs throughout the football games. And against the Carolina Panthers, I was really impressed with what I saw. There were turnovers and there were drops, as well as penalties, that could have allowed Jimmy G to throw maybe for 400 yards and 4 tutties. That really did impact the stat line to a certain degree, but he passed the eye test. And when I talk about some of these tight window throws, this was a throw, a big one early in the game to George Kittle. You want to talk about NFL open? You want to talk about an NFL window? Jimmy G able to fit this ball in between 2 defenders here to George Kittle, right up that right hash. This right here is as good as it gets, and you can see right up here that the Carolina Panthers were able to generate somewhat of a pass rush. How about this back shoulder beauty ball to Tevin Coleman? And how about Tevin Coleman getting activated to the active roster and scoring 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground, and then this big play really was great, and he said it was a play that he and Jimmy Garoppolo had practiced this past week, but they actually didn't complete the ball, but then they ended up doing it in the game. Like, Tevin Coleman is out on this route, and Jimmy Garoppolo throws a back shoulder ball right here to Tevin Coleman. It's the only place that ball can be put for completion to take place. If you throw that ball on the inside, the defensive back is able to get it and come down with the interception. But to throw this ball after really anticipating what was coming from Jimmy G on the back shoulder to Tevin Coleman was great. And you talk about the anticipatory instincts for Garoppolo. This may have been his best play of the day to Brandon Ayuk. And it didn't go for a completion because Brandon Ayuk actually dropped the ball. The blitz came as the Carolina Panthers sent some pressure. Jimmy Garoppolo knew the pressure was coming, dropped back, threw this ball once again on the back shoulder to Brandon Ayuk, and Ayuk had to get turned around, but that's the design of the play, and that's where the football has to go, and that's on Ayuk to make this play. Jimmy G wasn't making these throws last year. He wasn't even attempting them. And this is partially because Kyle Shanahan is putting more trust in Jimmy Garoppolo to be more aggressive, because hopefully both of them came together and realized that if you're more aggressive with pushing the ball downfield, it makes this offense more dangerous and certainly less predictable. We're going to continue to break down some really awesome numbers from Jimmy G and then what the Niners have to do to come through with another win against the Atlanta Falcons. First, though, do want to give a shout out to Roane. The dress shirt was due for radical reinvention reinvention, and Roane stepped up to the challenge. Roane's commuter shirt, which is the one that I'm wearing here on the show, is the most comfortable, breathable, and also flexible shirt, as you see, known to man. And here's why. Comfortable four-way stretch fabric provides breathability and flexibility that leaves you free to enjoy what life throws your way, from your commute to work, or if you're playing 18 holes of golf. It's time to feel confident with a wrinkle-free shirt without the hassle. With Roane's wrinkle release technology, wrinkles disappear as you stretch and wear the shirt. It's that easy. With Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day. And on top of that, Roane 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner, save some money altogether. The commuter shirt can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next, even if you're hitting the town like sometimes we do here at Chat Sports, because you know, and the real ones know, that we certainly party hard. 20% off of your order site-wide if you use the promo code CHAT at Roane.com/chat. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. Going back to Jimmy G, the importance of him. How about this? Since 2017, the Niners are 17-5 when he does not throw an interception. And for Garoppolo throughout his entire career, it really is staggering that he's had one of the more fascinating careers among all quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. He is 35-15 as a starter with a 98.8 passer rating. That is up there with some of the most elite and best quarterbacks in the National Football League. That's the importance of Jimmy Garoppolo playing well and the importance of him to this football team. When he plays well, when he plays a clean slate, this team is really difficult to stop when you combine the pass game with the run game on top of this defense being the #1 defense in the National Football League. More news, notes, and points to get to coming up in just a second. But first, if you think that this offense is finding its stride because the last 2 weeks they have against the Rams and against the Panthers, as they put up 30 points offensively against Carolina, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Some continued offensive improvements that I want to see against Atlanta. And while I like how the schedule has kind of played out, some easy cupcake games here because it allows the Niners to kind of find that groove. The Niners right now struggling still offensively in a couple of really important categories. Points per drive. They're still 30th in the NFL, even after that 30-point explosion. Defensively, though, they are first, giving up less than 1 point per drive. And if the offense figures it out, combined with the defense, this team, they are going to be oh so dangerous. More offensive rankings for San Francisco. They've continued to actually get better the last couple of weeks, but they can continue to even improve in these categories. Yards per game, 339. That's 20th in the NFL. Several years ago, it would have been awesome. Nowadays in 2022, it's really just average. Points per game, they're 17th as they continue to get a little bit better there. Passing yards per game, 25th. Rushing yards per game, 138.8. It goes back to my original point. You figure out the pass game on top of the run game. It makes the offense a little bit more difficult to defend. And if it becomes a little bit less predictable, the Niners can really do whatever they want against the opponent through the air and on the ground. So with that, let me ask you this. Who needs to do better? Is it Jimmy Garoppolo at that quarterback spot, or is it Kyle Shanahan at that head coaching spot? I think the Shanahan has actually called some pretty good games, and the throws have been there for Jimmy G. Some drops have also taken place, but let us know. JG for Jimmy G, KS for Kyle Shanahan. And as you venture down to the comment section, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. We continue to pick up so many subscribers here on the Niners Report. 2,000 people have joined us and subscribed to the channel over the last calendar month as we continue to be the most watched and largest Niners news and rumors channel out there. 64,500 people up to date are subbed to the channel. Join the party for daily Niners videos. DVOA, excuse me. Total for the Niners, they're at 5th. Offensively, they're 16th. Defensively, 1st. And special teams, 29th. Really what this is, the overall ranking of your unit as a team with all of the kind of analytical metrics combined into one. So the Niners to be total 5th is great. Offensively 16th, they're right in the middle of the pack with 32 teams in the NFL. Defensively 1st, but this special teams unit at 29th, it was supposed to improve. That's why they brought in a new special teams coordinator in Brian Schneider, who took a year off. He was good with the Seattle Seahawks. This year, though, has not been good. And the special teams has to improve for this team to really tap into its fullest capabilities as a roster. The Niners, one of the worst special teams units in the NFL back in 2021, and this year, also not good. They have gotten 2 field goal kicks blocked. One went back for a touchdown against Seattle. Another one got blocked against Carolina. And in coverage against Carolina, how many times were the Panthers able to start their drives around midfield? And it happened because of coverage breakdowns on the kicks and punts. Now, Mitch Wishnowsky has been pretty solid. It's more so the kick return coverage that has not been good, but you brought in guys like George Odom. You brought in guys like Burks to make this special teams unit a little bit better. And they really haven't shown up to this point, nor has Ray McLeod. Brian Schneider, that's on you. How about this stat as well? Because the Niners are going to be on the East Coast once again, playing the Atlanta Falcons. After a win against Carolina since 2019, San Francisco 12-3 when they travel cross-country to play in the Eastern time zone. They're going to look to make it 13-3 against Atlanta on Sunday. And, of course, we'll be doing a watch party for that football game. I hope all of you join us. So speaking of that game, get those predictions in. Niners, Falcons, Kyle Shanahan going up against his former team when he was the OC. SF for the Niners, ATL for the Atlanta Falcons. Let us know right now in the comment section. Lastly, the Niners, in order to put together 3 consecutive wins, they have to survive without Emmanuel Mosley. He tore his ACL late against the Panthers in Week 5, and we're talking about a player who is trending in a really special stratosphere. He was so stellar in 2021. No touchdowns allowed in coverage, 11 pass breakups on 74 targets, 495 coverage snaps in total, and 33 receiving yards per game. And this year, he was actually on his way to maybe having a better season than what he had last year. Him and Charvarius Mooney-Ward were combining to have one of the top 1-2 cornerback duos in the National Football League. So to not have Mosley, yes, the Niners do have some players who could replace him, but they're not going to replace him to the caliber of Emmanuel Mosley. 57 snaps in coverage here in 2022, targeted 27 times. He's given up 18 receptions, receiving yards per catch at 8.9, 1 pick, as well as 1 touchdown. This guy really has been a special player. As for the players who could potentially replace him, you're looking at internal options like Deommodore Lenoir, Jason Verrett, as he continues to come off that torn ACL, Ambry Thomas, and Samuel Womack. Verrett can play outside. We've seen that. He was so good in 2020. Ambry Thomas can play outside as well. I like Deommodore Lenoir and Samuel Womack more so in the slot, but if you need to turn to those guys to play outside, you can. They lack some of that length and size that is necessary to really play well on that outside corner spot. But these are good players here who will help at least absorb the blow of losing Emmanuel Mosley. With these 49ers injuries, our last poll question for today's show, are you concerned about them? C for concerned, D for deep. I want you to show off that football intellect and let us know in the comment section. Lastly, Falcons are feisty, but it's another game that San Francisco should definitely dominate. There is no excuse to lose this game. And if you go to 4-2 on the year, what you're able to do basically in turn is give yourselves a cushion going up against the Kansas City Chiefs the following week and the Los Angeles Rams after that as you enter the most difficult portion of the schedule for the Niners.